Hello?
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, we are 860 Kombucha. We're a craft kombucha brewery based out of Mystic, Connecticut. My name is Ashley, and if you couldn't tell, we're a family-run business. This is my brother Mike and my dad Dave. We actually started 860 Kombucha as a COVID quarantine project, just a hobby all under the same roof. We were doing a bunch of different hobbies, baking bread, and we were brewing beer, and we stumbled across brewing kombucha. And my dad was brewing kombucha at home in little gallon jars using fresh local ingredients, and it tasted incredible. And so we thought, with our backgrounds in marketing and finance and client service, we should scale this. So kombucha itself is a fermented tea, and it's often flavored with different fruits and herbs, and people drink it for a variety of different reasons. So it has a following of people who love to drink it for health reasons because it has lower sugar than something like a soda. People also drink it for its gut health proponents, and people also drink it as non-alcoholic alternatives. And so it's such a growing market. There's so much opportunity for kombucha as a product. And we were finding that the kombucha that you could get at grocery stores didn't have the same taste as the ones that my dad was making. They were a little vinegary, they were sitting on the shelf for a while, and so we decided to partner with local farms all throughout Connecticut to include those ingredients in each of our flavors. So we have a flavor with hops in it from a local farm in Connecticut for those looking for a non-alcoholic alternative, and we also have flavors with ginger, elderberry for those people looking for a healthier alternative.
So in starting our business, we're bringing a lot of professional business experience, but we needed to learn a little bit more about the beverage industry. So in year one, we were really just setting some pretty basic goals for ourselves as far as learning more about the kombucha industry, trying to create a product really just as a proof of concept that we can make something that people would drink, and then learning more about who our target customer is. So we started our journey by joining KBI, which is Kombucha Brewers International. It's a group of commercial kombucha brewers from across the world, and we're able to use their resources as far as how to scale processes, equipment to consider, and really an abundance of resources as a blueprint to start our own business. We had our product ready to launch in July of 2022, and in year one, we were really just focused on selling through events. So we went to all different types of events, and we learned that we had the most success when we can get our product in front of really like health conscious, locally focused consumers, and also people of a younger generation, people in college, people who had recently graduated. And we found that we would sell more kombucha in a 2-hour farmer's market than we would at a 10-hour fair. So for us, that really became kind of like our target events was attending farmers markets, going to college pop-ups, and it gave us the opportunity to meet our customers directly and get direct feedback from them. This allowed us to refine our product in year one, understand what ingredients people like, what people's favorite flavors were, and really just get the chance to know and refine our product. And this is something that we used when building our company in year two. Slide. We were really trying to just expand off of what we had already done in year one. So we continued doing farmers markets. We actually hired a small team to expand outside of New London County, doing multiple farmers markets in a day and really just engaging with our customers every week. And really, we were able to grow a very loyal customer base in the fact that they would come out every week because that was the only place that they could come get our fresh local craft kombucha. So then our problem statement became, okay, how do we get our kombucha to these people outside of the farmer's market? So we needed to grow our retail presence. And in doing that, we're actually able to create a lot of our partnerships at the beginning part of our business through the support of our customers. So a lot of our partnerships actually came as a result of our customers taking our business card from the farmer's market, going to their favorite business and saying like, hey, you need to have 860 kombucha here. By the end of year two, we had 10 partnerships where we were selling our kombucha on tap. So customers would go fill up glass bottles of kombucha. And that was really a proof of concept for us that we could create a product that we could put in the store and it would sell itself independently, right? Like we didn't have to be there like we were at farmers markets, telling our story, selling people on kombucha. It could just sit there and sell. So with that proof of concept, we wanted to continue to expand our footprint. And at the end of year 2, we actually got a grant from the state to purchase equipment to get our kombucha into 12-ounce cans, which made it a little bit more accessible in a retail environment.
So we headed into year 3, trying to keep up the momentum, focusing on wholesale distribution of our business. But we knew that we needed to think about packaging, as Michael said. Back then, we were packaging in kegs, but to get our product into restaurants, into grocery stores, to cafes, we knew we needed something different. So we purchased a canning system, we changed our packaging process to add canning, and then we scaled our operations. We also needed to learn about distribution. So we partnered with a local distributor in Southeast Connecticut, a company called Schooners. They themselves are in the beverage industry, so it was more of a mentorship than just a partnership. They taught us about the ins and outs of the beverage industry, distribution, the types of accounts, how they work, the different systems, volume of orders, and so forth. It was a huge success. They got 860 Kombucha into all parts of Southeast Connecticut and parts of Rhode Island. Year 3, we also came here. We went to the big Connecticut food event, and we met quite a few people in the beverage industry, including kombucha. We met with people in the grocery industry. We met with buyers and people in distribution. We learned so much. What we learned was that it wasn't as easy as, hey, let's make a great product. Hey, distributor, take this to the biggest client that you have, the grocery store, and get it out there. We learned so much that it was, the larger grocery chains operated differently. The distributors, they didn't want to carry 1 or 2 cases. They wanted to carry 1 or 2 pallets. They wanted to have larger accounts. They didn't want to have one account. They wanted to have chain accounts. And more importantly, they taught us that it was more than just getting our product into the shelves, but also keeping the product on the shelves. Right. So lots of learning. What we did was we went out and met with all these different accounts. We got an account in Adams Market, Highland Market. We got into restaurants, and really was able to expand our footprint across Connecticut. So now we go into year 4, where our projected year-end revenue is to increase by 70%. We've established a really good small distributor model that allows us to focus on self-distribution. Self-distribution, trying to get bigger accounts like grocery stores and universities, but also trying to grow the existing accounts that we have. Okay, all while still trying to work with our direct-to-consumer to create that following of 860 Kombucha.
So with self-distribution as our focus, here's where we could use your help. With this prize money, we would do 2 things. We'd increase our brewing capacity and bring efficiency to our delivery process. So right now is supposed to be our slow period of the year, like nobody's drinking cold drinks, but we're actually operating near max capacity. Like our sales are more than double this time year to date. So what this means is come our busy season of May through October, we're going to have to end up leaving opportunity on the table. That opportunity that we leave on the table, that makes up about 30% of our projected revenue. That 70% number that we just talked about, that's contingent on being able to meet this demand. So for us, we want to increase our production capacity to be able to get there. So with some of this money, we would end up putting it into additional brewing vessels to increase our production capacity by 50%. In addition to that, we talk about wanting to spread our footprint. We need to be able to do this efficiently. Right now, we're packaging all of our cases in kegs into a small SUV. And this is actually leading us to do 3 to 4 delivery days per week, which is really not efficient. If we had a larger vehicle where we could bundle deliveries and have a single delivery day, not only would it cut our cost of having our staff on the road, but it would allow us to reallocate their time into the brewery and continue to increase our production. So both of these will have a short-term impact of increasing our revenue and decreasing our costs. But together, what they'll do is really allow us to grow. Right now, this without this prize money, these things will be a restriction to our growth. And with it, we'll be able to overcome them.
So we're really excited and proud to be continuing to grow not only the flavors of 860 kombucha, but all of our community and the taste of 860 across New England. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Congratulations. What an amazing looking package.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had a quick question. I noticed your team photo up there. How many folks do you guys employ?
We have 2 part-time employees.
Well, us 3, and then we have 2 part-time employees. Yep.
5 total.
Yep.
Nice job. You talked about being at capacity right now, right? With that said, your goal is to be in grocery chains. So when do you expect to be ready?
Yeah, well, we're expanding local and kind of like regional chains currently. I think for us, this is kind of like a stepping stone to getting there, where we can continue to grow in a lot of like regional chains. And then when we're ready for kind of like mass distribution, I think the next step after that would be looking at a co-packer. So for us, this is an additional step to just say, hey, like, get our brewing capacity to a place where we can continue to grow our footprint enough where we have like a business to show to a big distributor and say, hey, we're in all of these local regional chains, and this is, these are our sales there, and like give people a reason to actually buy it. So that's kind of the trajectory that we're hoping to be on, is like, this is really a stepping stone to getting there.
Nice presentation, guys.
Thank you.
I have a question as you expand about the brand name itself, 860, and its resonance outside of Connecticut. Do you worry that it will lose resonance as you go further afield?
Yeah, I think that's something that we've thought about. I think there are different ways that we could potentially scale our business, as far as, if we eventually hit the capacity of selling kombucha in Connecticut, then the concept and mission and vision of our product, which is put local Connecticut ingredients into a beverage, that continues to scale, where you could have 860 name your beverage. And I think that would be one way that we could continue to scale our business.
I would also say that it's not just the brand. It's not just the fact that we include those local ingredients in there that makes the product so great. It's also the flavor itself and the product itself. It's something that we really believe in, and we've taken it elsewhere. We've taken it to Rhode Island. We've taken it to Massachusetts, and the people that we speak to there say, oh my gosh, this is amazing. They don't even know what 860 is. But the fact that we're sourcing locally grown ingredients makes the product that much better. So I don't think it'll be a limitation, because the product itself really speaks for itself too.
I think you guys did a great job. Very sexy packaging. Thank you for the time and effort. I would, you said this started as a COVID project. So I guess I'm a little curious what you were doing before COVID, and what kind of qualifies you in this kombucha or F&B realm, and would love to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So Mike and I are actually both UConn grads. I got my bachelor's and master's in marketing at UConn. Mike, you want to speak to your background?
Yeah, I was an accounting major at UConn, got my CPA. This is actually still kind of like a part-time side hustle for us all. We're all working, kind of day jobs and putting
Hustle is the
time
key
for this.
word.
Yeah. We're definitely not bored.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so my background is in finance. I work in finance and data science.
I work in marketing.
And I'm in the technology industry.
Yeah, so we pretty much thought like those business backgrounds helped us to really, have a base level to kind of start a company, but we needed to learn more about the beverage industry, which is why I mentioned it was really key for us to join that KBI organization, where we could learn, because kombucha brewing is not something where there's like that many examples out in the general public of like how to do it. So we needed to go find where that was. And I mean, we're still learning.
Yeah. And the coolest thing about kombucha is that Like here in Connecticut, we're one of 4, maybe one of 5 breweries in Connecticut. The first kombucha brewery we met with, that was our first tasting, at least my first tasting of kombucha. Lots of discussion with them and trying to understand how to work, what kombucha was. We went to the West Coast where kombucha is like Dunkin' Donuts. It's in every corner there. We met with different breweries. We went to KBI. And what we realized is that the process of making kombucha, it's not really that hard. It's the scaling of it, and then the how it tastes is really based on your location. So let me give you an example. It's our culture, right? So the culture is symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. We are right across the street from an apple orchard in Mystic. So not only do we have our culture, but the culture of the yeast, the wild yeast is coming over from the orchard, the water, the water that we have from the well that we use to brew, it really is specific to our location. So I can give the same recipe to someone in Danbury or someone in the West Coast, and you'll see a slight difference, right? So making kombucha is not that hard, but really our focus is making 860 kombucha.
Cool. Thank you.